Hi guys, Chris here with Super Savvy Travelers. Hey, a lot of people have been asking me lately, what is the deal about getting into Italy and then getting back into America with the Green Pass and the Super Green Pass and the blah 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 blah, and it's just so confusing. So I kind of combed through some of the websites and found some data for you. First of all, if you're flying into Italy, here's what you need to do. You have to fill out a passenger locator form, which hasn't changed. That's always been the case since this whole thing started. And then getting into Italy, you have to have done a COVID test and present a negative result. And the test had to have been done within 72 hours of arrival in Italy, not boarding your flight. So keep that in mind. It's arrival in Italy. And then they're also requiring a vaccination card or a CDC card or whatever. Now, if you don't have that, the difference is that you can actually quarantine or self-isolate for 5 days. You do have to test as soon as you start your quarantine and then test as soon as you end your quarantine, but you can still get into the country and still do that. Now, if you're traveling to the US, things are just a little bit different. You have to provide a negative COVID test that was taken 1 day before departure. So it could be, let's say on Friday morning you test, you can still leave on Saturday evening. It just says 1 day before departure. So that's pretty good. It's a little bit better than it was. It used to be 24 hours, which was a little tight. Or you can provide proof that you've recovered from COVID within the last 90 days, and that requires like a doctor's note and things like that. I'm not sure what's required on that, but I will give you a link in the details section that gives you more data. Now, as far as getting around in Italy and what's happening with the Green Pass and the Super Green Pass. So the Super Green Pass is basically for anybody who's been vaccinated. You can get a Super Green Pass. That allows you pretty much unrestricted access to, concerts and theaters and public transport and everything else. However, there is the caveat in that depending on the color of your region in Italy, you might have to wear a face mask. I know we are now yellow, I think, in Calabria, and everybody has to wear a face mask outdoors and in the shops. So that's the slight difference. But if you're vaccinated, you can pretty much move around freely as long as you have your card. Make sure you have it with you. There is a very steep fine if you're caught without it on public transportation, for example. Now, the Super Green Pass is required if you want to eat in a restaurant inside, or you want to go to sports events, if you want to see a concert, if you want to go to the theater. All of those things require the Super Green Pass now. Now, the regular Green Pass is required to stay in a hotel, for example, and I don't know how the heck that works, okay? For all intents and purposes, they're really pushing the Super Green Pass, which means you have to be vaccinated. You need to have a Super Green Pass if you want to eat indoors in restaurants, if you want to attend sports events, concerts, theaters, anything like that. You have to have the Super Green Pass, which means if you're not vaccinated, you don't get to do that. Now, from my understanding, you can get the regular Green Pass, which will allow you onto public transportation. However, you don't get to eat in restaurants anymore. It used to be that you could. Now, understand Calabria is now a yellow region, which means you do have to wear masks outdoors and in the shops. Things have gotten a lot more restrictive. They've said that it's to be restricted like that until the 15th of January. I sure hope that's the case. Frankly, I'm getting a little tired of the whole thing, and I know you are too, but it is what it is. So there you go. I hope this helps. See ya.